Let's prepare on influence line diagram. So today we are going to see about the influence line diagram. So this is an important topic in the structural analysis, but most of us will be omitting this while preparing for the competitive exam. Okay, but mostly 2 mark questions will be asked from this chapter only, so that when you prepare this you can score some 2 points more than the others. Okay, so this is very easy only. So I have given in a very simple format, so all of us study and make use of it. So first, what is this influence line diagram means? It is the diagram showing the variation in parameters. Okay, so the parameters may be anything. It may be a reaction force, or it may be a shear force. It may be the bending moment also. So at a section or at any point. So the unit load rolls over the span. Okay, so the rolling loads also we will be seeing. Rolling load means wheel loads and all we will be placing. So where the wheel load has to be placed for the maximum bending moment to occur, like that and all we will be studying. So here various types are there. So first we will be seeing the ILD for the support reaction. So support reaction means at the supports. If it is a simply supported means at A and B, like that alone we will be studying. Okay. So here a simple diagram is given here. A simply supported beam and a unit load is placed at a point. Okay. So where it is placed means at a distance of x from the A reaction and at a distance of L minus x from the RB, that is the B. Okay, so if you want to draw the ILD diagram for reaction A means it should be like this. So RA will be having 1. That means it is nothing but this 1 is placed in the RA. Okay, so you'll be getting RA as 1 there, and if the reaction for RB you have to find means it will be in the place of B. So you'll be getting like this diagram. Okay. So let us see this with the example. So here I have given a simply supported beam with the load of 5 ton acting at a point of 2 meter from the reaction A, that is support A. Okay, so now we want to find the reaction at A and also the reaction at B using the ILD principles. So how you should do is you should apply the basic similar triangle rule here. Okay, so we have a triangle like this, and it is having one value here because we apply unit load there, no? So normally the diagram of ILD will be based on this unit load only. So here the value will be 1. Okay, so if this is 1 and this is 6 meters. Okay, so let us write 1 by 6 is equal to, so now we want to find the ordinate for this point. So that is the question here. So when you want to find the ordinate here, just write it as x divided by, take this distance alone. So it is what? It is 4. So x will be what? It is 4 by 6. 4 by 6 is nothing but it is 2 by 3. So now you got the 2 by 3 value here. So similarly you do for this triangle also. So you will be getting 1 divided by 6 is equal to, you should take this value only. Okay, so it is x divided by 2. So you will be getting 2 by 6, that is 1 by 3. So this is the value for this ordinate. So when a point load is applied, you should multiply the ordinate value with the load. So that's all. So for RA you have to multiply 2 by 3 into 5 ton. So you will be getting RA as 10 by 3 ton, and for RB you should multiply 1 by 3 into 5. So you will be getting the value as 5 by 3 ton. So this is all about the point load application. But when in the case of UDL, you should calculate the area and then you have to multiply with the load which is prevailing there. Okay, so let us see that example also. So if you take this question, here I have taken a 6 meter span simply supported beam in which a 2 meter span UDL is applied there, and the load intensity is 3 ton per meter. Okay, so as we found out the ordinate in the before case, the same thing only you have done here also, but here you have to find the ordinate at 2 points, that is at the start of that UDL and also at the end of the UDL. Okay, so here if you see the starting point means it is at a distance of 5 meters from B. Okay, so you will be getting 1 by 6 is equal to x by 5. So x will be 5 by 6 there. Okay, so when you do for the second case, it is 1 by 6 is equal to x by 3. So x by 3 means x will be 3 by 6, which is equal to 1 by 2. So now you got the both the ordinates for reaction at RA, to find the reaction at RA. So now you see this calculation, it is area of a trapezoidal, because here UDL is having this area, no? So this is the area of a trapezoidal. So area of the trapezoidal formula is nothing but half into a plus b into h. So half into 5 by 6 plus 1 by 2 into h. H is nothing but the length or height of that trapezoidal. So here the length of the UDL is 2 meters. So into 2 and into the load intensity, that is 3. So you will be getting a value for RA. So the similar thing you have to do for RB also, whereas the ordinates alone differs here. Okay. So if you draw RA and RB and only this two a single span beam is given, means it is very easy for you. The summation of these two ordinates will be giving 1. So when you find the ordinates for reaction A, it is easy to find the ordinates in the reaction B. So if you see here 5 by 6, so 1 by 6. So here 1 by 2 and again 1 by 2. So when you sum it up, you will be getting 1. So this is all about the ILD for support reaction when a point load is applied and also when UDL is applied. So ILD for shear force at section. So to find the shear force at any section, this is the case. If the section is not given, means also we have a similar case. So we'll be seeing that at the end. Okay. So here a similar simply supported beam is taken and a unit load is applied at a point, and at section D, what is the shear force? So that is the question. So here we should study the ordinate value. So as we saw in the previous case, we will be multiplying the ordinate with the load intensity. So the similar thing only we'll be doing here, but this ordinate value alone will be differing for different cases. Whereas in the reaction supports, we just use the concept of similar triangle rule. But here you should study this value. Okay, so here it is L minus X by L for the upper ordinate and X by L for the lower ordinate. So this will be minus and this will be plus. Okay, so these both are very important. The next case is the ILD for bending moment at a section. So the similar beam is taken, and when you apply the load at here, and you will be getting the bending moment ILD like this. Okay, so here the maximum ordinate will be along the section only, and the value is nothing but it is L into X minus L minus X by L. Okay, so it is just multiplying these both and dividing by the total length. The next thing we are going to see is for the ILD for overhanging beam. So the previous case we just saw a supported beam. Okay, so here it is overhang beam, means overhang structure. So here beyond A, this is the overhang structure, and beyond B, this is the overhang structure. Okay, so what you should do is you should apply the principle which you studied for the simply supported beam, and you should extend that concept for the overhanging. Okay, so now I have drawn all the force continuously here, that is the reaction, shear force and bending moment continuously here, so it will be easy for us. So you see the dimensions here, so it is an E and then X L minus X. So this is same for the supported beams, and here it is F. Okay, so when you want to find the reaction at A, what will be the diagram? So this will be the diagram. So this we have already seen in the supported beams. Okay, so just you have to extend this line here and this line here. Okay, so always the slope, that is the theta, will be equal to this angle. So here also the theta will be equal, and in this side also the theta will be equal. Okay, so here this is 1 as per the previous law we have studied, and this two values alone, it is different for us. So it is nothing but F by L here, and there it is E plus L by L. So this E plus L by L is also could be derived using this similar triangle principle itself, because we have a triangle here, no? So it's a single triangle, so you can use that also here. Okay, so when you come for RB, in the previous thing what will be doing RB like this. So the same thing is only done, and it is extended for the overhanging beams. So for overhanging, here it is F plus L by L, and here it is E by L. Okay, so these two values are very important. The next case we will be seeing for the shear force and bending moment. So this also is the same thing, that is in the simply supported we will be studying this, and we have studied this, the same value L minus X by L, X by L. Here also X into L minus X by L, the same thing only. Okay, only the extension you want to study here, so you have to extend this here and you have to extend this here. So here it is F by L and here it is E by L for shear force calculation, and here it is F into X by L, here it to E into L minus X by L. So these values you have to study, and you have to see the structure diagram also. So this is also important. So these values can be directly asked, or the structure can be asked. Okay, so they will be giving 4 different structures, and out of which is correct, like that they will be asking. Okay, so here as I told you, the rotation also will be equal because we are just extending this line now. So here also theta will be equal, this side also theta will be equal for the overhanging structure. The next thing we are going to see is for the rolling load. So this is very important. Okay, so here I have taken a rolling load like this, that is of 4 loads, W1, W2, W3 and W4, which is of spacing A, B and C. Okay, so why I have given 3 different spacing means when you solve a problem, they may give a unique spacing also, like 2 meter, 2 meter spacing also, or they may give 2 meter, 3 meter, 5 meter, like that, different spans also. So when you take it in the ABC, it will be easy for us to study, and when you apply it also, it will be easy. Okay, so here this is the rolling loads. So now what is the question is, where you have to place this load so that you will be getting the maximum shear force or maximum reaction or maximum bending moment. So this is the question. When you have a single load, you can apply it direct. You can just apply the load in the reaction A so that you can find the answer. Okay, but when there is a rolling loads, you should use this principle only. So here I have taken a simply supported beam like this, and normally for a reaction support, what we'll be doing, we'll be drawing like this only. So in the point A, we will be having one value. Okay, so now the next step what you should do is you should calculate these values, W1 by A and W2 plus W3, here it is W3 plus W4 by L. Okay, so L is nothing but it is the span of the whole beam, and A is the span between W1 and W2. Okay, so when this is lesser than this value, it means that you should not place W1 at the point of A. So you should neglect the W1. Okay, next you should take W2. So W2 by B, and check whether it is equal to or greater than or lesser than W3 plus W4 by L. So when you take W2, you should take the next 2 values only. Okay, so when this is greater, it means that W2 should be placed in the position of ordinate 1. So you have to place here W2 and here W3 and W4, and W1 is also placed here, but it won't give any reaction because there is no ordinate at that point. Okay, so this is how we should be placing the loads here. Okay, so if this case also, if it is less than, means we should go for the next case, W3 by C, whether it is coming less than or equal to W4 by L alone. So when it is also less than, you have to go for the W4. So you have to place the W4 in the ordinate 1. Okay, but when it becomes greater than, that is W3 by C, when it is become greater than W4 by L, then it means that WC has to be placed at the point of the ordinate 1. So this is how you should place the loads, rolling loads, so that you'll be getting the maximum bending moment. Okay, so here if you are getting this value, that is W2 by B as the value means, and if you are getting greater than this means, it means that when you place W2 at that point of the ordinate of 1, you will be getting the maximum reaction support. Sorry, it's not bending moment, it's the maximum reaction support. Okay, so this is for the reaction support. So now let us see the same thing for the shear force. Okay, so shear force, the formula and the concept is somewhat similar only, but there will be minute difference here, so just note that alone. Here you will be having W1 by A, which is less than W1 plus W2 plus W3 plus W4. So you are adding W1 also. Okay, so when this is the case, it means that W1 should not be placed at the section. So when coming to shear force and bending moment, you should be dealing with the section only. Okay, so here a D section is given. So at this point D, what load should be placed? So when this is less, it means you have to do the next trial, that is W1 should not be placed there. Okay, then you have to go for the next step. So W2 by B is less than or greater than W1 plus W2 plus W3 plus W4 by L. So when this is also less, means you have to go for the next step, that is W3 by B. Okay, and if that is also less, you have to go for the next step. Okay, so here if it is greater means you have to stop with this and you have to place the W2 on the section B. Okay, so now the next important point is, see, W2 will be placing here, W3 you will be placing here, and W1 you will be placing here. Whereas in the previous case, for us W1 will be going out of the structure, so we no need to worry about that. But here W1 also comes into the structure. Next step, what you should do is you should multiply the ordinates with the load. So that is what you'll be doing now to find the shear force. So you have to multiply the ordinates with this load. So you have to find the ordinates first. So here one ordinate, here one ordinate, for W3 one ordinate, for W4 one ordinate. So you'll be getting 4 ordinates, whereas for W1 alone it will be a negative ordinate. Okay, for all other 3 you should be taking the positive ordinate. So this ordinate you should just use the principle of this triangle, similar triangle principle only, and you'll be getting the ordinate, and with that ordinate you have to multiply the respective loads, so that you'll be getting the shear force of this rolling load. So shear force as the summation, you'll be getting the value. The next thing we are going to see is the bending moment for the rolling load. So here also it is the same concept and same diagram, but the formula there is a small change. So W1 by X is nothing but the distance of the section. Okay, so it should be less than W2 plus W3 plus W4 divided by L minus X. So when it is less, you should go for the next trial. So you should take W1 plus W2. Okay, so here we are adding W1 here in all the formulas now. So here you will be adding together in the left side. So that is the difference here. And here you will be taking W3 by W4. Okay, so when this is greater, you can stop it and you can place the W2 on the section D. And when it is less than, then you have to go for the third step, that is W1 plus W2 plus W3 by X should be less than or greater than W4 by L minus X alone. So when that is stopped there, you should place the W3 on the section. Okay, so here in this case it means the W2 has to be placed in the section. So here you have to place W2, and then here you have to place W1, and here W3, like that. Okay, and also in the same thing you have to find the ordinates here for all the 4 loads, and here you have to take the area, because in bending moment we know that you should multiply the area with this load. Okay, so with that you can find the bending moment for the rolling loads. The next thing is for the bending moment due to UDL at a section. So this UDL you cannot be placing at anywhere in the section. So you cannot directly place it in the center or at the ends, like that you shouldn't place. So there is a condition for this, that is the average loading should be given. So first let us see the example so that it will be easy for you, then you can study the formula here. Okay, so here I have taken a span of 6 meter supported beam, and a UDL is span of 3 meter. Okay, and the section is given at a point D. So where this D is occurring means 2 meter from the left span. So it means what? The section divides the span in the ratio of 2:4. Okay, so you can see that it is in the ratio of 2:4. So this section should also divide the UDL in the ratio of the same thing. Okay, so that is the condition to be applied, so that only you will be getting the maximum bending moment or maximum value for the UDL. Okay, so here the 3 meter UDL has to be splitted in the ratio of 2:4. So I have splitted in the ratio of 1:2. So 1 meter in the left side of the section and 2 meters on the right side of the section. So these both have the same ratio. So when this is the case means only you'll be getting the maximum value. Okay, so the same thing I have given in the dimensions, that is nothing but X distance and L minus X distance of the beam, and for the UDL it is the whole distance is L1. So here I have taken Z, here I have taken L1 minus Z. Okay, so for this is the case, we will be getting Z is equal to L1 by L into L minus X. So this is the formula. So when you apply this formula to this question, you will be getting Z as 2 meters, because we are having here 2 meters now, so that value will be getting. You can just check it yourself for your convenience. So this is the last concept we are going to see in the ILD. Okay, so as these are new topics to many of us, we can solve the problem in a separate video. Okay, so with this we'll be ending this video, and in the next video we'll be solving the problem, so that we'll be getting thorough in this concept. So this is the last one, that is absolute maximum bending moment. So as I told you before, no, in some cases they won't be giving the section. So when that is the case, you have to you have to do this method. That is nothing but here a load is given, that is the rolling load of 100 kilonewton, 100 kilonewton, 80 kilonewton, 120 kilonewton, and the distance between the loads is also given there. Okay, so the first step is to find the centroid of the rolling loads. So for the finding of the centroid, you should take the right span, that is 120, and you should take this as 0. Okay, so 120 into 0 plus 80 into the distance from there, so 80 into 1, and 100 into the distance from here, so it is 2.2, 100 into 2.2, and 100 into the whole distance, so it is 3 meters, so 100 into 3, divided by the total summation of the loads, 100 plus 100 plus 80 plus 120, so you'll be getting x bar as 1.5 meter. Okay, the next step is you have to find the resultant load. It is nothing but the summation of all the loads. It is 400 kilonewton. So these both are very important. So the next case, what is where we have to place this loads so that you'll be getting the maximum bending moment, because a section is not given. When the section is given, we can directly place it there. Okay, we have the similar formulas. No, just now we studied that. We can use that and place it there. When the section is not given, you have to go for this formula. Okay, so here read this line: the load which is nearer to x bar will give you the maximum bending moment. Okay, so this is very important. So here we got 1.5 meter, no? So it means what? From here it is 1.5 meter. So a point here. Okay, so when you take there, you can see 100 kilonewton at the left and 80 kilonewton at the right. But 80 kilonewton is only very nearer to this centroid point. Okay, so if you see this diagram, you can see 80 kilonewton is 0.5 meter nearer and 100 kilonewton is 0.7 meter nearer. Okay, so in this 80 is only very nearer to that. So you can fix 80 kilonewton to be placed for the condition of absolute maximum. So now what is the next step is you should find the distance between this 2 point, that is the centroid point, and this load point, that is our 80 kilonewton. So it is nothing but 0.5 meter, because this total distance is 1.2 meter and this is 1 meter. So when you calculate that, you will be getting this 1.5 at the point of this 0.5 meter from the load. Okay, so now let us take this as AB. So now you should divide this by 2. Okay, so when you divide AB by 2, you'll be getting 0.25 meter. Okay, so how now you should place means this 0.25 meter, you should keep this 80 kilonewton from the center of the span. Okay, so here a 10 meter span is taken. So for a 10 meter span, what is the center? It is 5 meters. So this is your 5 meter. So from 5 meter, 0.25 meter, you have to place this 80 kilonewton. So this is the place where you should place the loads, so that will be getting the maximum absolute bending moment. So when you place the 80, automatically the other 3 loads will be kept in that position with respect to the spans between the loads, and you can find the bending moment using our basic principle, that is the area into the load. Like that you can use it and find. Okay, so this is all about the ILD calculations for reaction supports, shear force and bending moment for various types we have seen. So in the next class we will be applying these concepts for solving the problems. Thank you, and keep watching for the next lecture on problems regarding ILD.